It is the season for it, so try to get in, get your flu shot if you haven't gotten sick yet.
The warning from doctors as state health leaders report more flu cases in Kentucky.
Newly released court documents show a lengthy criminal history for the man accused of killing a 7-year-old Kentucky girl.
An estimated 42 million people are expected to be on the roads this weekend. Coming up, I'll tell you what drivers are saying about the travel conditions.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for watching tonight. As you gather with family and friends for Thanksgiving, state health leaders have an alert for you. They say that the number of flu cases in Kentucky is on the rise.
The state's flu activity moved from sporadic to local this week, and doctors want to make sure people gathering in groups for the holiday stay healthy. Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
When we gather around the Thanksgiving table with our families, good food and quality time aren't the only things we all share.
More hand holding, more hugging, more kissing, so we kind of spread the wealth and spread the love and spread the germs.
CDC data shows Kentucky had been at the low-level sporadic flu activity. A spokesperson for Kentucky's health cabinet says this week it increased to local flu activity. That's still a relatively low level, but experts say they expect an increase soon.
Flu can be very dangerous for the young ones with us, the older ones with us, people with chronic diseases like asthma. It can put you in the hospital, it can make you really sick, so really important to not spread those kinds of things.
Dr. Fox says the steps to stay healthy are simple, but can have big payoffs for you this holiday season. The biggest thing Dr. Fox says is to wash your hands. And if you haven't gotten a flu shot yet, get one. Other steps are even easier.
Making sure you're covering your mouth when you sneeze, not eating after people, and kind of those type things.
Hopefully that way you can stay with family and away from the doctor's office this holiday season. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And doctors say anyone older than 6 months can get a flu shot.
And this was one of the busiest travel days of the year as people hit the roads to be with loved ones for Thanksgiving. AAA expecting more people to drive for the holiday this year because of falling gas prices. Monique Blair talked to some drivers tonight, and she joins us live with the latest on the traffic. Monique?
Well, Sam, experts tell me the busiest travel times for today are over now. That was from 3 o'clock until 7 o'clock tonight. I'm out here on Winchester Road right now, and you can see behind me gas prices right now are at $1.72 and $1.76 per gallon. After talking to many drivers today, many of them told me it's these low gas prices that are making them happy.
I'm from Dayton, Ohio. We're going to Gatlinburg, Tucson.
Today I am driving back home for the holidays, see my family in Michigan.
Coming from Detroit, Michigan, I'm headed to Atlanta, Georgia.
42 million people across the United States are expected to travel more than 50 miles this weekend. And with that comes many trips to the gas pump. You can see this busy Georgetown gas station Wednesday night as the drivers, lots of them, filled up. The national gas price right now is $2.07, but it appears Lexington and surrounding areas are much lower than the national average. We found many pumps charging between $1.76 and $1.85 per gallon for unleaded gasoline.
They're loving the prices compared to a couple of years ago, almost $3 a gallon or maybe over $3 a gallon. You got $1.85, $1.75, so it's beautiful.
As far as the busy roads, well, the drivers I've talked to for the most part tell me they haven't experienced any significant setbacks, except Joseph Bright Jr. did tell me he saw a considerable backup on Interstate 75 moving in the opposite direction he was going.
I'll say about 30 miles outside of Cincinnati, you start seeing a backup on 75 North for about, good 20 miles.
Now, several of the drivers I talked to today tell me they are more likely to travel further distances when gas prices are low like this. But I also talked to many drivers who tell me ultimately nothing can stop them from making that trip to see their families. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And AAA says Thanksgiving weekend gas prices are the lowest they have been in 7 years.
All those travelers enjoyed some great weather tonight, and the Thanksgiving forecast should be just as good. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now with an early look at your forecast. Chris.
Hey, gas prices as low as they've been around this time of year for a while. Temperatures are nowhere near as low as what we've seen in recent years for Thanksgiving week. As a matter of fact, temperatures up today to around 60 degrees. We're going to be back there again tomorrow, if not a few low 60s. Late evening readings into the upper 40s and low 50s, depending on exactly where you are into central and eastern Kentucky. Your Defender radar network with a little bit of high cloud cover. That gave us that gorgeous sunset a little earlier this evening. More in the way of clouds are out to the west. And notice now some rain developing here in the parts of Missouri, northern Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. You're looking at that thinking, uh-oh, well, that action is staying to our north. And as a matter of fact, it's heading towards Chicago, Fort Wayne, and Detroit. That leaves us with a great looking Thanksgiving. Upper 30s, low 40s tomorrow. Quick jump into the upper 50s and low 60s coming up tomorrow afternoon. Then we get into late Friday and the weekend. That storm system that's out across the Rocky Mountains rolls our way, and we've got soggy weather in store for the second half of that big holiday weekend. Guys, we'll break that down with a new hour by hour just ahead.
Chris, thank you. Many Americans going to parades, football games, or other large events this Thanksgiving weekend will see tighter security measures.
It's in response to the terrorism attacks in Paris, France, but President Obama is trying to reassure Americans to go about their business. Hannah Daniels has the latest.
Security is ramped up across the country as people head home for the Thanksgiving holiday.
So much security, there's cops all over the place.
Passengers are taking the longer lines and beefed up airport checkpoints in stride.
Security's kind of long. Other than that, it's okay.
Heavily armed police are also on duty at rail stations, like Washington's Union Station, where Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson took an Amtrak train home. New York City officials were prepared for the thousands who showed up to watch the balloons come to life ahead of the Thanksgiving Day parade. Up to 3 million will line the streets on Thursday.
Security will be tight here along the parade route. The police commissioner says at least 2,500 extra police officers will be on duty to keep everyone safe.
This is the best prepared city in the country to deal with a terror incident, and most importantly, to prevent terror incidents, which the NYPD has done successfully now for 14 years.
President Obama says it's understandable Americans are nervous after the Paris terror attacks.
Americans should go about their usual Thanksgiving weekend activities, spending time with family and friends and celebrating our blessings.
The president says there is no current credible threat against the U.S. Hannah Daniels for CBS News, New York.
Earlier this week, the U.S. State Department issued a worldwide travel advisory that urged Americans to be aware of their surroundings in large crowds.
New tonight, court documents show the man accused of killing a 7-year-old Allen County girl has a lengthy criminal record. Documents from Allen County Court show 7 misdemeanors on Timothy Madden's record. In 2007, he was charged with terroristic threatening after police say he threatened to blow up a relative's home. And in 2013, police charged Madden with theft after they say he used a stolen credit card to buy gas. Last week, police charged him with murder, kidnapping, rape, and sodomy. They say he killed Gabby Doolin on November 14th after she disappeared from a football game. Investigators have released more details about their case against a Madison County woman accused of abusing 2 infants. As we first told you last night at 11, police charged 34-year-old Bessie Perkins with 2 counts of criminal abuse. State police say she was babysitting the infants at her home when the injuries happened. They say one of the babies had a leg fracture, the other had retinal hemorrhaging and a brain bleed. One woman told us Perkins worked at a daycare her son once attended.
He loved daycare until he got into her class, and he would beg us not to go there.
The Cabinet for Health and Family Services told us it could not comment on any Child Protective Services cases, but the Cabinet did not have a record of any license for Perkins for in-home child care services.
Tonight, a Lexington organization serving up a special Thanksgiving meal to the city's poor and homeless. The Lexington Rescue Mission held its 15th annual Thanksgiving dinner at Broadway Christian Church. Volunteers served a traditional Thanksgiving meal to more than 500 people. Rescue Mission leaders say this meal is an important part of what they do every year.
We want to let people know that we care about them. We want to do our best to show them the love of Jesus Christ. and through that, we want to build a relationship of trust.
Other meals are being planned for those less fortunate in Lexington tomorrow. New Day Community Church on North Martin Luther King will begin serving meals at 10 a.m. Malone's and Sal's in the Lansdowne shops will serve meals from 11 to 3, and Lextran will provide free rides. The Salvation Army's meal on West Main Street will be from noon to 1 o'clock.
Tonight, investigators think speed led to a crash that killed 2 men in northeastern Kentucky.
Police say a car ran into a ditch and hit a steel culvert on Johnson Fork Road in Boyd County this afternoon. They say that both the driver, 27-year-old Matthew Hall, and passenger 20-year-old Seth Watkins died in the crash. The Boyd County Sheriff called it one of the worst crashes he has ever seen.
Lexington police arrested a mother they say punished her 2-year-old son by putting him in scalding water. Police charged Demisha Clay with criminal abuse. She pled not guilty today. Police say the child was taken to Cincinnati Children's Hospital with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. During today's arraignment, the judge allowed Clay to be on home detention, but she cannot have any contact with her child.
New tonight, President Obama's administration has a warning for any state refusing to take in Syrian refugees. A letter from the Office of Refugee Resettlement says states do not have legal authority to refuse the refugees. The letter also says states may not deny benefits and services based on a refugee's country of origin or religion. Dozens of governors have said they do not want the refugees in their states. Kentucky Governor-elect Matt Bevin is among them.
New tonight, a man faces many charges after a chase in Laurel County. Constable Bobby Joe Smith said this afternoon he spotted a truck on East Pittsburgh Church Road that had been reported stolen. The constable said he tried to pull over the truck, but the driver wouldn't stop. The chase ended in a crash on Glenview Road. Police arrested the driver, Joshua Caldwell. He's charged with DUI, fleeing and evading, and wanton endangerment, among other offenses. The constable said Caldwell also had some warrants for his arrest.
Tonight, Lexington's police chief is asking the city to hire more safety officers. Safety officers focus on non-law enforcement work like traffic control for large events in the city. Right now, Lexington police have 2 safety officers on the force. They're not sworn officers but can help out. Police Chief Mark Barnard would like to add 10 more safety officers.
We average about 15,000 collisions a year. Most of those occurring between 4 and 6 o'clock in the evening. So those officers, the safety officers, will respond to those collisions, which frees up sworn officers to do other sworn duties.
Chief Barnard's proposal will go before the Urban County Council for a vote. Council is expected to consider it next month.
The Thanksgiving edition of the Lexington Herald-Leader will be filled with ads for Thanksgiving night and Black Friday shopping. And shoppers who couldn't wait until tomorrow morning to get the paper could buy it tonight. A line of cars filled the Herald-Leader's parking lot tonight as workers sold early editions of tomorrow's paper. The Thanksgiving edition weighs 5 pounds and costs $3. We have a full list of Thanksgiving and Black Friday store hours on WKYT.com. A lot of people at home have those all spread out and doing their homework ahead of time.
Shopping strategy.
Got to find the bargains.